Okay guys, so this is going to be the clay vase. So you're going to need a mat, your clay ball, a toilet paper tube, water that you're sharing with your partner, a poker, a rolling pin that you can share with your partner, and one of these clay rollers. I'm going to put one on each table, so as you can see, they're all different textures. So when you get to the part where you need one, just go visit one of the tables and go grab one. So first off, you're going to take the clay ball and you are going to separate it into two pieces. So this is going to be for the base of my project and this is going to be for my project. What I want to do next is I want to roll this out into a slab. So I'm going to take my rolling pin and I'm going to push down. I don't want to push too hard, and I'm going to roll back and forth. Then I'm going to stop, turn my clay, roll back and forth. And sometimes I like to take it and flip it. If you notice, when I roll the rolling pin, I'm kind of just sticking to this part of my hand. If you push too hard, you'll see that your clay will start rolling up over your rolling pin. That means you're not doing something quite right. So I'm rolling back and forth, flipping it every once in a while. I want to try to keep it at even consistency, so it needs to be an even thickness. You don't want it to be too thin. Keep it about the thickness of a cookie. Okay, now I'm going to check and see. I want it to be able to fit over the length of my toilet paper tube. So I'm going to go and see if it's large enough, and it looks like well, yeah, looks like it is. There's a little piece right there, but I can patch that, or I can roll it out just a little bit more. Okay, so my next step, that I have this, I'm going to take my texture roller and I'm going to roll over it again to get that pattern that I want. Now, if you think about it, this is going to be the inside of my project since I'm rolling it up. So I'm going to take it and I want to flip it over. Okay. Next step, I'm going to take the clay. I'm going to smooth out. Well, I'm going to cut this into a straight edge because it's make it easier for me to connect. Then I'm going to roll up my project to see how far it needs to go. So it looks like it needs to go about right here. That's where I can connect it. So I'm going to cut that extra clay off. Put that to the side. You can see it's going over just a little bit. Now I have this extra clay and this extra clay. So I'm going to go and open that up, and you can kind of see where the line is at. I'm going to go on and cut a straight line. And same on the other side, cut another straight line. If it tears, like mine just tore, you can just take a little bit of water and smooth it out. Okay, now I needed to slip and score my project. So to slip and score, I'm going to make little X's, and you can see it's a pretty quick process. I also need to make X's on this side of my project using the pokey end. So it's on the inside and the outside. A little dab of water. That's going to act as the glue. Now I'm just going to roll it over itself and smooth it out. So to smooth it out, I'm going to take my finger and just lightly rub the clay down. So if you notice, I have my thumb inside the tube and my other finger is smoothing out the clay. That's acting as a support because I don't want to push too hard, because if you think about it, this is just a toilet paper tube, and if I push too hard, it's going to collapse in on itself. So just lightly smoothing it out. So on the top, same thing, just going to lightly smooth it out. I might pinch it. Okay, now to get the base, I'm going to give it a light tap. That's just going to smooth out the bottom. If I want to, I can go and do a little light tap on top. So that way both sides are smooth. I can go back with my finger and dip it in the water and just lightly go over the edges just to smooth out any of those rough surfaces. Now I'm ready to make the base of my project. So to make the base, you're going to take your clay that you have left over, and you are going to roll that out into another slab. So same as before, rolling directions. You want it to be about the thickness of a cookie. I'm going to take it, put it on top. Now I'm going to trace around the tube. I'm not pushing really hard, I'm just kind of lightly pushing. I'm going to go back over my cut so you can see there's my trace marks. So I'm going to go back over it. Okay, now as before, I'm going to rough up the surface by making little X's. This is called scoring. Same with the bottom of my project. I can choose, do I want this to be the top? I want this to be the top. I like this. I think this looks a little bit nicer, so I'm going to make that the top. Rough up the surface. You can see about how thick mine is. Yours should be about this thickness. Remember, if you make it too thick, it can blow up in the kiln. You don't want that. A little dab of water. It's going to act as my glue. I'll put that on top. And then just like before, I'm going to smooth out the edges. I'm going to pick mine up so you can see, but if I were you, I would probably do it on the table. So you can see though, I'll pick it up. So there's my little edge. Just going to go through with my finger and smooth that edge out. Notice I'm not going all the way down because I don't want to lose that really cool texture of all those bubbles that I made. So it's pretty cool. So I started first by going up and down. Well, I'm kind of more going down than I am up. And now I'm going back with my thumb and I'm going across the base. So you want to make sure that's connected really well. If not, it would be really sad if the bottom of your base fell off. So I'm just smoothing that all out. I'm starting to lose some of my texture. It's okay. I can go back and see if I can add more texture on top. Just smoothing it out all the way. If I want to, I can add a little bit of water, but I don't want to add a lot of water because then it's going to get really messy. So I'm going to do a little tap, make sure it's even base. And then I'm going to try to get my texture bubbles back. I want to be really careful though with how hard I push. So you can see those bubbles aren't as good as before, but you can still kind of see them. Okay. So now my vase is done, my last step is going to be to write my name on the bottom using the sharp end of my poker. I don't want to poke really hard because if I do, it's going to make my vase collapse. Then I need to write my teacher code. So remember, that is your grade level with the first initial of your teacher's last name. The toilet paper tube is going to stay inside the project, and when we put it in the kiln, it will burn up. And yeah, next time you guys come to art, you'll have a vase.